If your first year as a leader feel harder than your job ever did before, congrats. You're normal. What's actually happening and why your first year feels so hard. Because once you start understanding what's going on, you stop blaming yourself, understanding that this is not a personal failure. I'm Dr. Jessica Diop, and I study leadership onboarding and organizational change, and I've spent years working with new leaders in their first year. I've seen this pattern over and over again across nonprofits, corporate spaces, and well-meaning organizations that genuinely think that they're doing a good job with new leaders. Unfortunately, they're usually not. So why does your first year feel so hard? Reason number one, you were promoted for the wrong thing. People are promoted into leadership because they're good at their job. You're competent, reliable, you're high performing. And none of those things automatically mean that you're prepared to lead humans. So overnight, you went from being really good at what you do to being responsible for people, decisions, all kinds of dynamics, conflict, and outcomes that you didn't fully control. And that's not growth. That's actually whiplash. I once met with a new leader who told me, I have never struggled like this before. They were so used to being so high performing in their role that moving into a leadership position was a huge transition for them. Reason number two why your first year is so hard, your role changed, but no one explained how. Here's a fun little leadership trap. Your job changes, but you're still doing parts of your old job. Plus now you're managing people, you're setting priorities, you're having those hard conversations, and you're being evaluated on expectations that no one clearly defined for you. And somehow you're just supposed to figure it out. Very professional. Very effective. I know many new leaders are leading on top of their old workload and not instead of it. The third reason why your first year feels so hard is because leadership onboarding, it ends way too soon. Most leadership onboarding lasts 30 to 90 days. I find this fascinating because most leadership challenges, they do not show up until months later. By the time things get hard, the team dynamics, the self-doubt, decision fatigue, your support, it's already disappeared. And now you're just sitting here struggling quietly. A lot of new leaders I work with let me know that they usually have check-ins the first couple of months. That stops. And then down the road, when their problems really start, they don't really have anyone to go to. Here's what's actually happening during your first year as a leader. And this is the part that no one says clear enough. Your first year as a leader is not a performance test. It's a transition. You're unlearning one identity and you're building another. And that takes time, it takes support, and you need space to learn. Feeling unsure does not mean you're failing. It means you're in the middle of development. The problem, it's not you. The problem is how unsupported new leaders are. So what actually helps? This is your first year as a new leader and you're struggling. One of the biggest things to help in your first year is to not put unbound pressure on yourself to be confident. You need to work on finding clarity. Get some clear expectations. Some safe feedback. Give yourself some space to learn without constantly proving yourself. Confidence, it's going to come later. After a practice, actually after a lot of practice, after some reflection, and after support. If you don't feel confident, that does not mean something is wrong. It actually means you're taking it seriously. Some of the most thoughtful leaders I work with worry the most about the work that they're doing. And this is exactly why I created this channel. I'm focusing on first-year leaders because this is the moment where support changes everything. Research and experience shows that when leaders are supported early, they grow. When they're not, they burn out, they disengage, or they leave. And then we all act surprised. I've seen how good support and onboarding can really help new leaders grow and learn in their first year. I've also seen the opposite side, where new leaders who did not get the support they needed fizzled out, burned out, and didn't end up even lasting the first year. If you're in your first year of leadership, this channel is going to give you what organizations don't. Clarity, context, and support that actually fits this stage of your work. Just remember, you're not failing, you're learning. If this resonated, make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.